it was pretty impressive.
I am very impressed.
Yeah, yeah, very. I mean, you know, I don't want to say I know celebrities, but they were. I don't mean to name drop. I know people that faked a love triangle and got on Jerry Springer, so and that's how we're coming into this, aren't we? All right. This is really though. We do need to have the final thoughts at the end, or Hot Nozzles Hot Minute. It's got
It's coming.
All right, we'll have a moral to the story at the end of this show. Are we on? Are we live on everything right now? Sweet. That's just how I like to start a show. Hello, everyone. This is Trends with Benefits. This is our weekly roundtable tech podcast where we talk about the tech topics of the day, and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and YouTube right now. And we've got a lot of stuff that we're going to get to today, just as usual, but mainly we're going to be discussing what is going on with Google and their new products, and we want to get your opinions and your thoughts on that. Going to kind of pitch Google against everybody else. And on top of that, we've got some other things too. There's a new way of transportation that's going to be coming about with a quadcopter. We've got Dubai is building a Mars city, and we're going to talk about robotic cat pillows, which is the heavy topic of the day that we'll get to at the end. That's where we'll give you our final thoughts. But no, right now, though, I want to introduce just our roundtable of characters and get your thoughts on Google's new products. So we've seen the new stuff from Amazon in the last couple of weeks. We've seen new stuff from Apple. Now Google releasing theirs, particularly the Pixel 2 coming out here. And I think our main question is, if you had to choose between the two, would you get a Google Pixel 2 or an iPhone 8? And let us know what you think about that, your thoughts. Like I said, we'll go through everything on there. I'm Greg Nibbler, and to my right, we have
Adrian Warner, a.k.a. Hot Nozzle.
Hot Nozzles, Hot Minute, coming up later on the show.
Dave Jackson, Team Flapjack.
Team Flapjack.
I like that.
And on the end,
The Whiskey Miss.
the Whiskey Miss, Caleb Dennison. Excellent. All right. So I'm seeing some questions already coming here, or actually comments. So people are saying Pixel hands down. Edward says, OMG, I needed Hot Nozzles Hot Minute. So this is already working for you. This it may break off as a standalone show. We don't even know yet. All right, let's talk about Google's different things that they announced. So there's several different ones that came out, several different products. Let's talk about the Pixel 2. So already it's cheaper than the iPhone 10. I guess they do have the Pixel 2 XL, which is I think the Pixel 2 XL came in at $850. The Pixel 2 is, I believe, $650, which is a couple $100 cheaper than the iPhone 8. As far as what it's got going for it, they're remarkably similar. As far as I can see, as far as what the iPhone 8 is. It's got a bigger screen. The video's a little bit better on Apple's, but not markedly much, not a huge difference. And what I want to see is what you guys think about this, because are you Apple users, everybody in here?
Wait, what's marginally better than Apple's?
So their video, and let me pull this up here just so I have the actual stats in front of me. Their video, I believe, was 4K at 30 frames per second, and Apple's is 60.
Oh, vice versa.
Okay.
Yeah, Apple's is 60, so Apple has a little bit better video on it.
Yeah.
And I'll get all that pulled up here so we can make sure to compare directly. But I'm wondering if that's $150 worth of difference for you.
No.
No, and I would argue that
so.
the image sensor and the overall quality of the video capture is more important than the frame rate there.
Yeah.
That's
how.
that's
Well,
my
and that's important. Like that's something I know you would factor in.
I would totally, yeah. But I think with the OLED screen on the Pixel 2, that's going to look great. That kind of, they're bringing that OLED screen down to closer to iPhone 8 prices than iPhone 10 prices, and the camera, they have a lot of stuff going on there. With all the AI and the machine processing that goes into that, where that's taking the place of like having physical lenses. It looked good.
Yeah.
Their video footage and images that they put out there, supposedly with no like After Effects or processing or color correction, looked pretty awesome. Granted, I'm sure they had a pro photog getting the very best that this thing could do, but it looked pretty good. It was on a big old screen, and yeah, it looked pretty attractive.
With some of the questions coming in, compare the cameras. I think we just give a little bit there on that. But as far as the actual camera, the Apple, and this is comparing the iPhone 10 to the Pixel 2 XL is what I've got pulled up right here. So the best of the best. The iPhone 10 has dual 12-megapixel rear and 7-megapixel FaceTime HD front. The Google phone has 12.2 rear and 8 megapixel HD front. So they don't have the dual cameras apparently on the Google Pixel XL.
And they're saying we don't need it. Yeah. Because we can do all of this with onboard processing and and computerized stuff.
So that let's see, battery life. Yeah, I mean that's fair enough. I mean,
Computerized stuff.
Computerized stuff, technical terms.
Software.
Compare battery. So again, these are just questions that are coming in on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you drop those in there, and we'll discuss all of this. And we're going to get to some of the other products too. Looks like the battery is bigger on Google's. So there's technical terms for you. 3,500 milliamps basically versus 2,700. So a little bit longer battery life. I don't know what that would translate into as far as that's kind of hard to tell, I would imagine, without actually getting hands on.
Well, it depends on what you do with the phone and how much juice that's sucking up, and how efficient the chip is in the iPhone versus the Pixel 2. You know, you can't just look at the size of the battery, and it's what you do with it that matters.
There we go.
Recording 4K video at 60 frames per second.
I saw somebody asked about the headphone jack on either of them. And that's a no.
Yep, that is a no. So neither phone has a headphone jack, and that's Randy that's asking that. And I'm wondering how much of a factor is that for you at home, not having a headphone jack? Is that just, are you just going to completely discount that phone and not buy it, or do we eventually just have to get used to that? Like, this is where things are going. Do you think like LG is going to be a holdout and not do that? Or what do you think this is going with phones? Since both Google and Apple are doing it. Hanif?
I want to say something quick because I think Caleb's going to probably nail it.
Go on a tirade.
I would say no, that's not where things are going. I don't think, just because there are people in audio that still have headphones with cables on them. So go ahead, Caleb.
Well, their answer to this complaint is the dongle, right? You can plug in a dongle and connect your wired headphones. So that gets you past, like, the reason that wireless headphones, so many of them come with a cable, is because the battery runs out. And you still want to be able to use them if you're on a long flight or a long commute or just in a weird place you don't have power. You still want to be able to use your headphones, so they include a cable. But you can't use that unless there's a headphone jack on the phone. Well, the dongle gives that to you. So the problem is, how much do you hate the dongle, you know? And we have been hearing stories from people here in the office and elsewhere that the dongle can actually create some problems. Like the way the headphone plug on your headphones goes in. Sometimes it's really secure and you get a good connection, but that puts extra strain on the lightning port and on the dongle itself. Our Greg here, our content producer, has a problem with, for just an unexplained reason, tracks just skipping, volume going all over the place. So electrical impulses
it's like
that
shorting out or something?
Well, yeah, basically. You know, I mean, a lot of headphones come with little inline controls, up and down and pause, play. They aren't supposed to do anything unless you're actually pressing the buttons, but that, you know, obviously is a problem for him. Plus, it's just kind of a pain to have that thing, you know, coming off your phone. It puts the strain in a different place. You could put more strain on your headphones. So, I mean, individually, they're all little things. Put them all together, and I feel like it's a bigger problem to not. Plus, just put a headphone jack in the goddamn phone.
There we go.
It just
You know
seems
what?
like a money
Problem
grab,
solved.
which angers me so much as a consumer. If I'm already spending $850 to $1,000 on a phone, and then I have to shell out more for a really poorly made dongle, which I just love saying dongle.
Who doesn't?
Just because I love saying dongle doesn't mean I want a dongle, you know.
I've got too many dongles.
I definitely have a dongle issue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen your desk, and
Yes.
you've got
It's
dongles
miserable.
all over the place.
It's bad.
Well, and just all of that on that one connection too. So one thing goes wrong, and then everything's screwed up at that point. I mean,
Yeah,
I've had
plus
this
if you want to
issue.
charge and listen to wired headphones,
You're
then you
screwed.
got to have a different dongle for that.
Right.
You know, and it's just
the
not
bigger
an
these-
eloquent solution.
And the bigger these phones are, the more battery they are going to take up. But again, it depends on what you're doing. But they're trying to push, you use 4K and shoot all this high video. That's going to eat up your battery. And then you can't listen to something, and you have to plug it in. Seeing what these some of the thoughts that are coming through here. Let's see. Magic says, I love the Samsung Galaxy S8. And yeah, that's definitely in the LG V20 or V30 is the brand new one. Daniel says, I need headphones because I listen to the radio, so I need earbuds for antenna. I mean, that's that's something that's a factor. It's probably not a whole lot of factor for a lot of people, but I guess that's something that would definitely preclude you from buying one of these two new phones.
But you got to sell your AirPods and your Pixel Buds.
Yep.
Man, how about that name? Can we talk about that name for a second?
Let's talk about the
Pixel
Pixel
Buds.
Buds. So that's kind of the next thing on the list here to bring up. So the Pixel Buds, which is, I don't like the name.
We have a marijuana reference coming. I have a feeling.
There's got to be one. I'm just going to leave it out there. We'll see who comes up with it first. So let's get into these other products that Google announced, and that's kind of what we're going through. So keep putting your thoughts in there on the Pixel 2 versus Apple iPhone 10, or if you're a Samsung or LG person or whatever one you want to go with. But Google Pixel Buds, that is the new Bluetooth headphones that they have come out with. I'm going to leave it to you guys to talk about the actual sound quality, because I'm sure, Caleb, you've probably taken a look at this, whether you think this is something that's going to be worth it. They're retailing at $159, which seems expensive to me just for a set of headphones.
Also arbitrary. Just make it 150. You know what I mean?
Yeah, why 159?
159?
Yeah.
Really? You had to, that major margin for you? I don't get that. That just doesn't make sense. Make it a nice round number. You will sell more of them if they're $150 than $159. That's just basic consumer understanding. But putting all that aside, I haven't heard them, so I don't know.
Right.
Julian had a chance to check them out, go hands-on with them. I don't know what the conditions those were under. It's hard to tell how good something sounds when you're in a really noisy place, no matter how good they isolate, the outside noise. But Julian has a hands-on with those that you can see at the site, digitaltrends.com right now. It's promoted on the front page. Can't miss it. Mm-hmm. So I would encourage going and checking that out. I thought, though, that the real-life language translation was it was fun, and I was like, ooh, that's kind of cool. But then I realized that these canned demonstrations are never real life examples. We've played around with Google Translate, the voice version here. We have several Spanish speakers in the office, and it's usually a catastrophe, if not just outright hilarious. Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Flat out wrong.
And that's one of the things for this, in case you didn't know, for the Google Pixel Buds. It's got Google Home Assistant built into it, which that's nothing that exciting as far as I can see. But yeah, Google Translate is part of it, and they say it will almost, I think it's like a 2-second delay or something, translate 40 different languages. So you'll hear them, it'll translate it right into your ear. It's almost like a Babelfish or
near real time.
Near real time.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. That stuff will never work as it's supposed to. Very rarely.
Not right away. I think that we're getting there. I think that eventually we'll totally be able to have conversations with people in two different languages and understand each other. Especially with the machine learning that Google is doing right now. I think it's coming. Yeah. But that's not why you go and buy those.
Sure. And this isn't particularly unique either, right? I think someone here said that there was an adapter you could get for another. I think it was the Braggies or something that you could put on there, and it would do basically the same thing. Or there's a third-party app or something. So yeah, it's not particularly innovative.
No.
So I don't. Yeah, it's probably not. A huge
Plus, the
selling
Pixel
point.
Buds aren't the only earphones that will let you use the Google Assistant, which is your voice control over everything, never touch a button kind of deal. Bose just came out with their killer noise canceling headphones, and then it has a Siri/Google Assistant button right on it. There's other places to go for this stuff that will actually sound awesome. So far, I have not been impressed with the sound Google has made with anything. The Google Home speaker didn't really bowl me over. We have the Google Mini, which we can talk about in a minute.
Yeah.
And while it gets nice and loud, the sound quality itself not that great. So I don't have a whole lot of expectations out of the Pixel Buds. Certainly not going to be light years ahead of the AirPods,
right?
Which honestly isn't saying much.
And $160. I mean, that's a lot to spend on earbuds. Why wouldn't you just get over-the-ear headphones at that point? That's how I would look at it. I think somebody said that in the chat too. In their box. That was
that's our window box on my
word boxers coming up there.
CompuPad.
Tech Talk.
It sounds like you're using Google Translate.
So another hot take from Hot House. So those are the Google Buds, the Google Pixel Buds came out. And I am curious. I don't see a whole lot of people here in the live chat, though, that are saying, yes, I'm clamoring to get those. That price,
Plus,
So
don't you
it's
want them
very
to
high.
look good? Like the
don't.
AirPods
They
look
don't
like
look
golf
good.
tees.
Yeah.
And I see people wearing them, and I'm like, and I wear them sometimes, and
Yeah.
I'm aware of how dumb I look. And then these look more like golf ball markers, if we're going to maintain the golf theme. They,
Oh, boy.
I get, you know what? They're not that big. I take that back. I'm going to take it back. They're not that huge. They looked a whole lot bigger in the photos when you didn't have scale. Or this guy could just have massive ears and head. I don't know.
An email went out to the Google campus.
Yeah,
Who's got the biggest ears?
They're not that bad. And I like that they have the little loop there to kind of hold them in place a little bit better. I mean, I don't want to just outright dump on them. I haven't tried them yet, but at $160, I can think of a whole bunch of other things I'd rather go get with that money.
Yeah, and it's 5 hours of listening time on a charge. They do have, I guess, the case can charge it for another 24 hours of listening time is what they're saying on it. But yeah, again,
But
then
only 5 hours at a time.
5 hours at a time.
They're pretty small to be getting 5 hours out of them.
Yeah.
I'll say that. There are other headphones that do better, but they're also bigger, or they have like an inline battery or something like that. I'm not going to dump on them. I'll wait until I try them out, but I'm not going to rush out.
5 hours.
By them.
Like, where does that stand? In the
It's
scheme
kind of in the middle.
Okay.
It's not great. It's not terrible, but it's not great either.
Well, that was their innovation on that. So the Google Pixel Buds coming out for there. Let's go on to some their other products.
They had a
Because
lot.
they had a lot of
They had a
stuff.
ton of products.
I mean, and it's like we said at the beginning. We've got Amazon and Apple have both just dropped a bunch of products, and now Google kind of coming in third as far as announcing the order of things, and they also have some new home speakers, home assistant systems, the Google Home Mini and the Google Home Max, which came out, which really are competing against Amazon's Echo devices. And I'm really curious what you guys think about this. I have the Amazon Echo Dot. I think it's fun. It's neat. But I connect it to a different Bluetooth speaker that's much better. The Google Home was $120 last year. $120 powered by Google Assistant. And the Mini and the Max are coming in. I'll get the prices here for you in just a second. I'll pull those up for you. But I want to know what you guys think about this. Is there anything that Google is doing that's different that would make you want to buy it? So the Google Max is $400, which is a lot. That's even more than Apple's. I think Apple's was $350.
Yeah,
the
but Apple
HomePod.
doesn't have anything equivalent.
Yeah.
They're not. This thing is more like the Sonos Play 5, the big bad boy that Sonos makes. And that thing, the Sonos speaker sounds killer. It's big, robust, powerful. It can do all. They're very similar. They do many of the same sort of things. Google is taking a shot right at Sonos, and I'll tell you why. Because
Sonos, that's
1 hour before Google had their event, Hot Nozzle is on the hot edge right now. 1 hour before they had the Google event, Sonos came out and they said, "Hey, look, we have a smart speaker,
Sonos
and
One.
it does Alexa
Yep.
and Google Assistant later this year."
Ooh, okay.
So, and that's just their it's called the Sonos One, and it looks just like the Play One, and it's a reasonable size speaker. It's about the same size as the HomePod and the main Google Home speaker, right?
Okay.
But this sometime next year they're going to have a big bad version of their Play 5 that does both the Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant, and apparently it's compatible with Siri. Like if you have a Siri device, you can just tell it what to do through your device, and it works through that. So way more versatile. I guarantee you, it's going to sound better. Like I would just not rush out and go get
Well,
that
now
big
you
one.
just said you hadn't been impressed by Google's audio quality. Do you think this might be the one that might change your mind?
I would say that it's got the most potential, but
Okay.
I honestly don't think it'll change my mind. Like
okay.
I think for what you're spending, you should get something pretty freaking amazing out of it. And if you compare it to something like Sonos, and that stuff is just good and it works really well. And Sonos, they figured out how to simplify the voice commands, so you don't have to jump through all the Alexa and Google Assistant hoops so that it understands you just right. Sonos has it down to they have their own language translation thing kind of laid over it, and it works so much better. It's so much
So you
simpler.
can call out whichever
With the
system you
Sonos
want.
speakers,
Yeah.
you don't have to say Alexa anything. You just say, "Do this," and it does it.
And it will pick which service it uses?
Well, right
Like,
now
I'm
it
curious.
only connects with Amazon's Alexa.
Okay,
I think
so
that
the other
you
ones are
will-
coming.
I think you will have to say, "Hey Google," when that comes later. It's like in December. That'll
Okay.
be updated. But yeah, I'm sorry if I'm buying a speaker and I care about sound. I'm buying it from the company that is known for producing great sounding stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean that makes sense. I'm curious though how many people are going to even know about the Sonos speaker. You know, if you're going out to buy one, you're probably looking at a Google.
Sonos is
device.
everywhere. Like, I mean, they're in the Apple stores.
I guess I mean more just general consumers right now. Because this is the first I know about.
Well, this is Well, it happened yesterday.
Yeah,
so give it time.
It was also masked by that giant Google event, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, it happened like moments before. So it's kind of people might have been looking at Google, not realizing that there was something floating under the radar.
Sonos knows how to advertise. You'll see the commercials; they'll know about it. And I would just say pick the Sonos. But
that's what you're going.
We should go to the Home Mini though, because that guy right there looks and sounds way better than the Echo Dot. And so they got something going on there. We've been playing around with it all day today.
Yay.
And you know, the thing is super fast. Like we can control our Chromecast really easily, and it's like right out of the box. It's limited functionality because it's brand new, and it already does a ton of stuff. And the only thing that sucks about it is phone call quality. Like it
have you tried it with
great.
that?
Yeah, we've made phone calls with it, and it sounds terrible for the person on the other end.
Wow.
For you, it sounds great, but for the person who's listening to you talking through that thing, it's
That's a little disappointing.
Bummer. Yeah.
Yeah, because that kind of technology is not. I mean,
It's
that's
funny
out
though,
there everywhere.
because Google Google made fun of Sonos and Amazon by saying what took others 6 to 8 microphones, we did with 2. Well, what they're doing sucks. So, oops, probably shouldn't be throwing
thrown a few extra mics.
Well, and granted, I haven't seen it used in person, but even Apple with their watch, the speaker that was on that, or the microphone that was on that, they showed, again, this is in their presentation, so who knows how it really works. But it appeared to be picking up the phone or picking up the conversation really well. So if this little device cannot do that, if the microphone sucks so bad on that.
Whatever they're doing inside, it understands what we're saying. You know, like, from anywhere in the room, it manages to pick up on what we're saying and execute the commands. Google Assistant is a little chatty and like mansplains everything, even though it's a female voice. I didn't understand you. Try doing this instead, or maybe even doing this. Did you know you could do this as well? And like
I'm already angry.
Exactly. You just want to slap it across the room.
Stop bossing me around.
Yeah, if that's its downfall, it's Google Assistant, not the device itself as a speaker and the way it looks and how it connects and controls things. That part's great.
It looks like a cute little macaroon.
It does. I want to eat it. I just want to
cute.
shove it in my mouth. Eat it.
I'm just going to excerpt that little piece of audio right there.
With these audio products, Caleb, do you think it would benefit Google if they like maybe partnered up with like a Bose or someone in the audio space?
Yeah, why are they trying to get in the audio space?
That seems really weird, right? Like
I don't know. Most other people, like LG, finally said, you know what? We're not. We just haven't been great at audio. Let's partner up with Harman Kardon. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
We can learn a few tricks from them, and then maybe we can go on our own later. Samsung is the only company that has managed to really improve itself in the audio sphere when it was really terrible. And you know how they did it? They threw just a ton of money at it and built this huge audio R&D facility and stole a bunch of amazing talent.
Do you think Google would do that?
Yeah, I mean that's the
They
thing.
could.
Google has
They got
tons of money.
Sure,
Yeah.
but they didn't.
I mean, maybe this is just them like testing the waters, or trying to see what they can do, see what people will respond to. Will somebody buy it just because it's Google? Maybe test their market brand or their name for it. I mean, it's hard to tell because Amazon seems to have such a leg up on all of these guys.
I mean, they just bought Whole Foods. Like,
yeah.
we're talking about
really
branching
get
out of your space, right?
Yeah.
If we're talking about branching out of your space, like, yeah, they're definitely doing that. There's no reason why Google can't.
Well, Google's competing there too. Like a week, I seriously said, "Hey Google, order me Pantene shampoo from Target," and it was like, "I got you. I'll order it, and we'll pay for it, and I'll send it to the address." I mean, with Amazon, you're ordering it from Amazon, right?
Yeah.
But Google.
So Google went direct to Target. Is that how
I told it to go to Target.
Okay.
When I said, "Hey Google, I need shampoo. Order me some," it was like, "Here's some options from Costco," and I realized, all right, I need to be a little bit more specific. So I just thought of a shampoo brand, and I thought of a store, and I was like, let's see if it can do this, and it totally could. So the Google Assistant right now is a little bit more versatile. Maybe Amazon's Echo is more refined, but Google Assistant is way more versatile. There's more opportunity and options there. And it's still pretty new, so I'm not going to count them out. I think that they've got something going on.
I think they've got enough money to buy their way into it.
Sure.
No matter what. You know, they'll hire somebody away, although
Poach some
competing with
people,
Amazon.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can
Start
we talk
poaching.
about the click thing?
Yeah, we've got that's the last product we were going to bring up here.
This was so fun. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I want Hot Nozzle's Hot Minute on.
Oh boy.
We've got the Google Clips camera, which just seems very strange for me. So it's a life logging camera designed to clip onto objects and record life as it happens, according to what we wrote up here, and keeping only the best moments for you to save and cherish. That's I had to say it like that. So that's so it's basically it's a tiny little camera that you clip on things and try to record all of life. It's got 130-degree field of view, 2.4 aperture. 16 gigabytes of onboard storage, and it's $250. Can somebody tell me what the point is of this and what you can't get out of your phone already?
Yeah, I'm waiting as well.
Okay, that's what I'm not understanding what they're going for, unless they're trying to like match it up for a YouTube live stream or something like that. But again,
it's
creepy. You can do all that through your phone.
It's creepy.
It's just a smaller and creepier.
And I feel like we already did this.
Yeah.
We already did the live logging thing. Like, you know what? Just admit now that you made a stupid mistake and give these away as body cams for cops, and let's just forget the whole thing happened.
You wonder if they just made a bunch of extra cameras and they were like, uh-oh.
What do we do with these?
Uh-oh.
Stick them in boxes, quick.
I mean, I would
They got a really good Groupon on image sensors, and they're like, crap, what do we do now?
$40, you know, and get a couple and place them around for like extra dog pictures when I run out of space on my camera, or on my phone. But like for
maybe
$250,
$250, yeah. I mean, maybe like a security camera or something.
But you've got like the Nest,
which is better, rings better. Yeah, I don't really know. Yeah, he says Big Brother is watching you. I mean, that's kind of what it feels like. It kind of feels like it's for creeps to just set up somewhere and
the creep
record
clip.
the creep.
The fact that it decides like what it's going to take pictures of. You know, it's not like it's always on. It's just kind of like, I detect something happening. This seems like something I should take a picture of. Why?
Yeah.
You know, what's going on in your little Google brain that makes you decide that this is what you want to...
Be a fun experiment.
And what if I set it up in my bedroom, you know, because my kid's doing something cute on the bed, and then it decides to, like, turn on later at night and take pictures of stuff I don't want to take a picture of?
Well, it says at the heart of the camera is an AI engine designed specifically to capture the details of life in the best quality possible.
Oh, no.
It uses
See, that's a creep cam.
machine learning, and it captures 15 frames per second and pulls out the sharpest, most important details.
Wait, machine learning on what? On what?
Exactly.
How are you knowing when to capture?
I detect a smiling puppy.
Yeah.
That'll never go wrong.
No, I'm sure there's no creep out there.
I'm sorry, you have to be sarcastic when talking about this thing. It's just a stupid,
it's really strange.
Idea.
It just seems kind of...
They made all
like
this
a
great
pointless
stuff,
product.
and then they made this thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure where they're going with that. Again, like live streaming is the only thing I could think of, but I don't see the purpose of this, especially for $250. Now you sell them for like 50, maybe I could figure out a reason to use them. But $250, man.
It only has 16 gigabytes of onboard storage.
Yeah, so it
always has to be connected to something. That's terrifying.
Yeah, and Dan is asking, did I say 15? It says using the camera captures 15 frames per second and pulls out the sharpest, most important details. So that's apparently...
Nope.
Yeah, that's apparently all it's doing. So I don't know. That's the other thing they came out with, though, the Google Clip right there. Somebody said another Russian target.
Nice.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Well, so that's everything that we've heard from Google, and I'm just realizing we're running out of time, so I may have to drop a couple of things on here. Well, unless you have some more that you want to talk about with Google Clips.
No, God, no.
Okay, yeah, I think we've kind of covered a lot of the Google products. We'll go through our last three little topics here that I wanted to bring up anyway, because they're nothing to do with Google, but things that are exciting. There was this week from CityAirbus, who announced that they have started testing on a quadcopter that humans would ride in and would be able to. Essentially, it's designed for short transports in cities where you can jump traffic and fly over everybody. And they're getting this ready. They said they'll be ready to actually put it into cities, I think, in 2023, which is not that far away, to where you could be taking a ride in a quadcopter to work. I would do it to skip traffic. I hate traffic here.
Instantly.
And who else but Dubai, right? Like, they're going to do something like this. This seems...
Well, Dubai is going to be doing the next thing. So CityAirbus Although it'll probably end up in Dubai.
Oh,
yeah, you're
okay.
probably right. Where that's
Did I jump
always the
ahead?
city. You jumped ahead, but that's
Probably true.
totally something I could see happening in Dubai. So that's CityAirbus. We've got more details about that at digitaltrends.com. You can take a look at. I'm excited about that just because I hate traffic so much.
Sign me up.
Yep. I'm in. Whatever.
And great
I don't even care about your testing. Just put me in it. I'm there. The other thing that Dubai did announce this week,
yes.
with their gajillions of dollars that they have laying around, they're making something called the Mars Science City. And we've seen a lot of this kind of stuff before. Like NASA's built some. I'm sure SpaceX has something like this where they create a domed kind of little city thing where you can put people in and pretend that they're on Mars.
Biodome, bro.
Biodome.
Yeah.
Just get Pauly Shore in there.
Yep.
And this, though, is going to be a giant one that they're building in the desert in Dubai, 1.9 million square feet. It's $135 million, which I'm surprised it's that cheap, to be honest. And they're going to have all kinds of different laboratories in there where they're going to have scientists can study different things and figure out how we can live on Mars. And I didn't know this, but Dubai has a plan to have their own colony on Mars within 100 years. They're sending an unmanned probe
they
in
do.
2020.
Of course.
Yeah, so they want to have their own little.
Sorry, I think I cut them short with the Skycopter. That's Aim higher, Dubai. Aim higher.
So anyway, there it is. That's what's going on in Dubai. I thought that was pretty interesting. And finally, the most important thing that we need to talk about today, and I want everybody to just pay attention right now if you're listening or if you're watching live. This is probably the biggest breakthrough in technology you will ever see. It's a robotic cat pillow that has been developed. It's a headless robotic cat pillow. It's by a Japanese company called Yukai Engineering, and it's a round cushion that has a robotic tail on it that reacts to strokes, quote, just as a loving pet would. And
Oh wow, look at that.
I know.
Oh my. Oh no. No.
it is one of the creepiest things I
No.
have ever seen.
Oh no.
I'm
no.
actually in. I'm in.
so
I'm
in.
in.
The
I'm in.
video, if you're listening via
This
podcast,
kid is whacking it, though.
please find the
Hard.
video. They've got different images here for the commercial of like an old lady petting it. It's some lonely woman on a couch stroking this headless robotic pillow cat. The video is the best.
You have to see this video.
The video is amazing. Go to digitaltrends.com right now and find this.
We talked about this before we started the podcast, and I just saw the video. I had no idea. You have to see the video to understand.
The video just
So good.
really.
And I
really
love
hammers it
the
home.
part where it just starts with this girl who's like watching cat and dog videos, cute cat and dog videos online, and apparently
up.
she's just really bummed out that she
Yeah.
doesn't have a pet. But wait,
Oh,
there's
now
this thing.
there is a
There's
pet for
this
you.
cat butt.
And that's the thing. They also put out as just a quick graphic here that will show you how it works. It's stroke, react, which is the cat wagging, and then a heart with healed, get healed. So it's going to heal your
So
heart.
it's supposed to be therapeutic.
Yes, absolutely.
It's a fat cat ass. It's not a
I'm
headless
sold.
cat.
No.
Like it's just the fat ass of a cat with a tail coming out of it, and that is just
Hey, there's no
amazing.
gimmicks though.
You should really
You're
run the
getting what
marketing
you're
campaign
getting.
for this.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Want a fat ass cat and a tail?
It is advertising as is.
We have smart home products, smart devices, smartphones. Why not a smart pet? I mean, it seems legit.
Where was Google with this?
Doesn't eat
Where
cat
is
food,
Google
and
with
it doesn't
this?
take
You know?
poops and
Yeah.
doesn't
Can't
pee
be
on
allergic
stuff.
to it.
Well, you can. It's going to cost about $100, and it'll launch in June of 2018.
Does it pur? Does it have like
doesn't
gyroscopes in there?
No,
Or?
it's got an 8-hour battery life though, so you can pet that thing for 8 hours on the couch while you're sitting there. Comes in 2 colors: husky gray.
I think we need to get one for the office.
You can Netflix and chill with your headless cat.
There it
Oh
is.
my goodness.
I think once we develop a Hot Nozzles Hot Minute, it's going to have to. One of these cats is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
While you're
In front of like a fireplace.
Put the cat on Hot Nozzle's shirt on.
Okay. Yep.
Now you got something.
This kitty.
Wow.
Hi everyone, welcome to my Hot Minute. Oh, I didn't see you there. Just act surprised. Oh.
Well, you see the cat tail wagging, and then you turn around and you realize it's just a pillow.
All right, has to happen now. We've got to get one. So $100. It's got to be
We're
expensed by
accepting
somebody.
funding.
Yeah, we'll start a Kickstarter for it. All right, I think that's probably about all we have time for today. This has been awesome. Again, this is Trends with Benefits. We're live every Thursday at 2:30 p.m. Pacific here at digitaltrends.com and on Facebook and YouTube. But you can also get the podcast on iTunes or wherever you get podcasts. So make sure and download that. If you're listening to the audio version, come to the website and make sure you watch the robotic cat butt video because that's going to make your day.
It really will.
Yeah, really will. I think that's it. Hot nozzle. I don't want to put you on the spot for a hot nozzle minute, so maybe we'll have to work that out.
Yeah, it's
next
okay.
time.
We can put it in development.
Okay, yeah, it's into development right now, so the people have already clamored for it. I mean,
We need
it's right up there.
graphics and background music.
That's true.
Let's
Yeah.
not,
Oh man,
let's not do this
Dan, you're gonna have to
half-assed
get
Let's
to
get
work.
some creatives on the way.
or even half cat ass.
We got to build a set. I mean, it's going to be a pretty big undertaking. So look for that in the future. Hot Nozzles Hot Minute. This is Trends with Benefits. We'll see you next week with another episode.
Off the rails.